boy Gene again. I don't know about you, but I love eating fresh fruits and vegetables. Even though I'm pretty good about eating my broccoli and cabbage, my mama wishes I would eat more. Today, we are visiting Courtney Farms, a farm in Shelby County that grows those vegetables and many more for local families. Mary Courtney is going to show how she grows those vegetables and talk about the care she takes to provide good food for Kentuckians like me. Hi Mary, could you tell us a little bit about your farm?
I'd love to. On our farm we raise a lot of different things. We raise corn and soybeans, and with that we get to feed people all over the world. But what we started doing just in the most recently is we started raising vegetables. And we raise actually over 100 different type of vegetables on our farm. We start planting in about April and we'll finish harvesting in about October. We sell direct to a lot of families, so families that don't have a garden in their own backyard, we basically raise their garden for them. And then every week during the season that we're harvesting vegetables, then they get to have a share of that. So it works out great.
Mary, I'd love to see how you grow your vegetables.
Well, let's go.
We walked around the land where Mary and her husband grow their vegetable plants. They have a very big garden. It's the size of about 30 football fields. Mary and her family can't plant, care for, and harvest those 30 acres alone, so they must hire additional workers. Even though the growing season was about over at their farm, there were still many vegetables growing. Different kinds of squash, pumpkins, peppers, Brussels sprouts, Swiss chard, tomatoes, and watermelons. I learned that one of the cool things about eating locally is that you can get different vegetables at different times of the growing season, as they are not already at the same time. That is due to Kentucky's climate and weather. Very few local vegetables are available in the winter. Mary encourages her customers to preserve some of their veggies by canning or freezing them so they can be enjoyed year-round. But when you don't have local vegetables, the ones at your grocery store are the next best thing. Another thing I was curious about was how they keep the plants healthy. Mary, we tried to grow a cabbage in my house, but we couldn't quite keep the bugs off. What are things you do to ensure that your plants are healthy and growing well?
Well, bugs, just like a lot of things in the environment, play a big role in a plant's health. So something we do on our farm, for example, to help combat maybe real dry weather, we put this irrigation hose out. And what it does is it'll give a plant a drink when it's hot, and it'll feed it some vitamins when it's needed, if the plant's needing a little extra boost. The main thing about bugs is we try to be very proactive. We're in the field all the time. We call it scouting for bugs, looking for insects that are out to hurt the plants. And if we can catch them early enough, they're usually pretty easy to take care of, and we can kill them before it really does a whole lot of damage to the plant. So the main thing is a farmer has to watch the plants as best as they can and try to basically overcome any environmental things that might damage that vegetable.
Mary, it was great seeing all the vegetables you have in your garden. Mind if I help you prepare some?
Well, I think that'd be a great idea. I can always use an extra hand.
Come on, let's go.
All right. What we're gonna do, Eden, is you're gonna help me carry that bag, and we're gonna walk through this table, and we're gonna fill the bag with what items people are gonna get. These are items that we're picking from our farm this week. So we'll put some ears of corn. I bet you like sweet corn, don't you? Do you like fresh corn on the cob?
Yeah.
It's nothing like it in the world, I don't think. All right, so we got corn. Now move on up. You know what these are?
What?
These are winter squash. Have you ever had them?
Not really.
They're
I think
awesome.
I've seen them, but I've never really had them.
These were just picked, so they still got dirt on them. It's all about farm food, isn't it? What about this?
I think I've seen them at the grocery store. I'm not really sure.
These are called golden zucchini. They're like a zucchini, except they're
gold.
Yep, they're golden color, and they make for a real fun side dish. You know what these are?
What?
These are called sunburst squash. It's another kind of squash, and you can use it for a lot of things. It's great to cook it with sausage, I think. All right, and then what we'll do is we're kind of giving people a variety of specialty squashes. And so we gave them some zucchini, golden zucchini. This is the sunburst. It tastes a whole lot like this zephyr squash, which is half yellow and half green. Have you ever seen one of those?
Nope.
No, they're pretty good. And then these, I'll tell you a funny story about these. We're almost embarrassed about these. We could donate them, we could throw them away because they're way too big. All right? This is called a patty pan squash. Regularly, they'd be only about that big. But we had a lot going on the last couple weeks at the farm, and we actually did not realize that these were ready to be picked. So we went out there yesterday and realized that we had huge patty pan squashes. So I used the internet, did some research, and found out that large, overgrown patty pan squash make great zucchini bread. Do you like zucchini bread?
I've never really heard of zucchini bread.
It's wonderful, wonderful. Well, most people make it with zucchini, but we're doing a recipe for our CSA families, and they'll get to make overgrown patty pan squash bread. So that way we don't waste it.
So giant patty pan squash bread?
That's right, that's right. And about every garden, I figure, about every garden's gonna sometime during the season have an overgrown squash. You know what this is, don't you?
Cucumbers, I love them.
Love them, love them. You've gotta try one of these. It's called a yummy orange pepper. I think you're gonna be surprised. It's pretty good, isn't it? Does it taste like any pepper you've ever had before? No.
It kind of tastes like a pepper, but kind of sweeter.
Yeah, it's a lot sweeter. A lot of people call them apricot peppers. I think more or less because of their color, and they're sweet like an apricot. And everybody will get a couple purple peppers.
I've never seen a purple pepper in my life.
Yeah, aren't they pretty? The thing we like about this, and the reason we do this, is because a lot of our families have children. And my theory is that if we get to show people neat food and different food, I bet any child would like to try one of these, wouldn't they? Whereas they might not try a green pepper, but they'd probably try a purple pepper and realize that they like it. And then what about okra? Let's see. Here's our tillage bag for okra. You like okra?
I've never really heard of it, but it looks kind of like green beans.
Well, you can make okra a lot of different ways. It's great with tomatoes and onions. I like it fresh. And that's something we try to do. Everything that we have for our families, it's either been picked today or yesterday. And what that does, you want me to hold it for you? I know they're getting a lot of food, aren't they? They get it when it's really fresh, and therefore it tastes better, and hopefully families will eat more of it. And fresh food is great for you because the closer food is to the plant, like the sooner that it was picked from a plant, the more healthy it is. So that's kind of the whole idea, is to introduce people to healthy food that was grown on a farm, and they can learn about it and realize how safe it is and how great it is. And then let's find your Brussels sprouts. This is a tillage share. So here, you want to put it in there? Yeah. All right. And I think we've got one last item over here. We've got some herbs. You throw that in there, and you've packed your first CSA bag. Very good. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome. While we packed the bags for local families, I learned about so many vegetables that I had never heard of before. And I even tried my first yummy orange pepper. I can't wait to try more of these vegetables when I get home. I may even have my mom make some of that patty pan squash bread. Once the bags were prepared for the families and boxes filled for restaurants and grocery stores, they were loaded into a truck for delivery. Mary, I would like to thank you so much for letting us come out to your farm today and showing us around. I really did learn a lot about growing vegetables, and I hope everyone watching will learn to love vegetables as much as I do.
Well, that's awesome. It's been a delight to have you, and we love having kids at the farm.
Thank you. See you next time.